So I'm taking a look at the EV sector, electric vehicles and anything sort of related to that sector. There's a bunch of tickers that I'm going to analyze today. The market has had a pretty good day overall. We've seen lots of green, so we need to just sort of take a step back and look at each of these individual tickers, and then we can keep checking back with them as we are starting to get some more of a bullish sentiment in this area. So starting with Tesla. So Tesla has been on a tear ever since we bounced off this SMA 200, and sort of the fear just sort of left a little bit, and now it may be a little bit of euphoria that's setting in. So we need to start taking stock of that and make sure that we're not going to get stuck in buying in here at the highs. So basically we have run on Tesla 30% since bouncing off this SMA 200. We've been holding onto this EMA 12, which is healthy, but then what I would measure is right here from our last bounce off this EMA 12, it's been straight 12% jump. And now it appears that we may have reached a temporary top. Now, we did not get a higher high today, so we made a lower high and a lower low. So that has me thinking that we might be starting to retrace here. So I'm just going to measure a retracement for Tesla. If we are retracing from this move off of the EMA 12, then we would see a retracement about, I'm going to measure back to this level here a little bit. Let's see. This would be our low. So I'm going to measure from the low area, and then we can see it pulls back to around this 832.31 area, would align up with this EMA 12. So we can look to possibly retrace to somewhere around this area. Not saying this is going to happen immediately, but if we are, if a temporary top is in, we can look to possibly retracing to that area and possibly looking to enter at that area. And even if we don't retrace to that area, the first level that I would be looking at would be this gap fill area. So 843.21, that is a gap fill area. So I'd be looking at that level first before I'm looking at this 832.31 area for a retracement on Tesla. Okay, so now moving over to NIO. NIO's chart is not quite as strong as Tesla's, but we are starting to get some recovery here. If you're in my Discord, you'd know that I was watching this EQ that we were in for a while and this trend line, and I alerted a trade off this trend line and held it for a while, and I actually left it a little bit early, but I know that some stayed in it longer. A lot of traders don't like to trade tickers that are below the SMA 100, but I actually like to kind of get the big moves on the recovery tickers when I see some movement happening. So anyways, I'm no longer in NIO, and I see that we are getting some retracement here as well. So it looks like we have a possible rejection of this SMA 100, and we didn't quite make it to the SMA 100, but we had a big move here, 22% move. So NIO is needing some retracement here as well. So I'm going to measure the fibs off of this bounce off this EMA 12, which is what we did here. And if we're looking at this 61.8 fibs level, we'd be looking to retrace to around this 38.82 area. So after I found that fibs level, I tried to find some type of support somewhere around that fibs level, and I'm not able to find anything. But what I do see is this gap on the chart that would have me a little bit concerned if I was holding this. And the gap fills at 36.68, and right around that area with the 37.03 level, between those two is where I do see some decent support. It's very possible that we just pull back to this EMA 12, which also lines up with the 38.7 area. So basically we're watching all of these areas of the fibs. These are our areas that we can watch, and likely because we are under this SMA 100, our pullback will probably be a little bit harder than Tesla's. Tesla's further into an uptrend, so just keep that in mind. This 37.51 area has some support around their 37.67 area, so that is likely another area for this retracement. Okay, so let's look at FCEL. FCEL had a major move, but it had been beaten down pretty hard. So I've been in and out of this ticker from this point up to there, and then from here up to here, and it's been great. We can see that we are retracing here, but The one thing I'm noticing on this chart is a golden cross, and that is when the EMA 12 is now crossing the up. It's crossing the SMA 100. So typically you can have a really big rally off of a golden cross, but we are nowhere near this golden cross. We are pretty high off of the EMA. So while we're in a retracement, we've got a golden cross. So this is kind of a little bit of a conflict. I'm not really sure how to perceive this. So I am going to not make any moves on this chart until I see something more definitive. I don't know, most probable outcome would be sort of we continue on this retracement in a slower sort of way, pull back a little bit each day till we reach this EMA 12 and then possibly have our breakout. So I'm definitely watching FCEL for that possibility. Now, it's very possible that on all these charts where I'm measuring retracements that we don't get the full retracements and then we just continue on with this bullish move from here. But I would be concerned about that because that's what happened last time. And that's why a lot of people ended up just falling into this crazy rally and buying at the top of the move. So not that I wouldn't play these tickers if that happens, but if anybody's looking at long holding, just keep that in mind that we should get a little bit of retracement here. And if not, then it would be just short-term buys for me from this point because I do want to see a little bit of a pullback at least to this EMA 12. And speaking of pullback off of big moves, that's exactly what is happening here with LCID, Lucid. So I see a few things going on here in this chart. We've got sort of a head and shoulders forming here. Now, this shoulder doesn't look like a very good shoulder, though. A lot of people would be concerned about a head and shoulders here, but we've got, see how we have so many consecutive days riding up. We would need that many days for this to be a decent shoulder. So just keep that in mind that this is we could have a couple days up and another day up and another day up, and then our shoulder could drop down. But in the meantime, what I see right here is we had a falling wedge. We broke bull off that falling wedge, and now we're having the retracement, which I just talked about in the last ticker, that we need. So this is a pretty good move from LCID, and our pullback has pulled back just past this 61.8 fibs level, and we are getting some support from this this SMA 200, and we've got a lot of them crossing here. This is a possibility of a bounce off of this level, so I'm going to be watching LCID for a move tomorrow to see. I want to see some support established, and then we could possibly have an entry there. So we have a previous daily level right here, 2404. We haven't quite hit that, so that's the level I'm going to watch. I don't want to break through that level. If we break through that level, then I wouldn't be entering unless I seen a whole bunch of momentum here. But this one's on watch for a breakout if we can hold this support. So CHPT, we were starting to get a move here. I entered this one somewhere down here, around this $20 area, and I'm getting a little bit concerned here, and we'll possibly be exiting this tomorrow if we can't get over this daily double top 2126, which we have here between yesterday and today. And it almost looks like we closed on a bullish hammer, but this could also be a hanging man, which is bearish when you have that after a few days of an uptrend, of uptrending candles. So yeah, I'm worried about this gap down here as well. So I might actually just close this position first thing tomorrow morning, unless we get over that high. And if we get over the high, then we can look to, we can reanalyze this at that point. LAC looking very bullish here. We have this cup and handle breakout, and we are approaching all-time highs. So yes, we are possibly getting a little bit of a retracement. We made a higher high, but also a lower low. So we might get a little bit of retracement and pull back to this EMA 12, but that doesn't mean our cup and handle breakout is over. With this cup and handle breakout, we can look at getting past this all-time high. So we might pull back, have a couple days of retracement, and then we can break off again and try to break through this all-time high. So I'm going to keep watch on this retracement and see if I can possibly get an entry into this ticker, because this cup and handle breakout could put us pretty high. I'm going to quickly measure that and see how high we could get. So I measured the cup and handle breakout, and the level that we could be seeing is this 37.82 level. Now that doesn't mean we're going to launch straight there. We will have some ups and downs all the way up there, but once we get into blue sky breakout, once we're over this level, then we are in all-time highs, and once we're through that and we're in all-time highs, there's no resistance up here. So we can move to that 37.82 level quite easily. So I'm looking for a little bit of retracement here to possibly get an entrance into LAC and to hold this for a nice swing into all-time highs. But this would be based on if the bullishness continues in this sector. So I did measure this off camera, and I've showed how to do it before, but if anybody wants to know how to measure the cup and handle, just put a comment below and I will do a quick little video on how to measure a cup and handle breakout. So that's it for all of these tickers. If anybody wants any other tickers in the next video, let me know. Otherwise, I'll just redo these same tickers in about a week from now.